that you CC the agent and the home buyers on this within 5 days of going under contract. And then we do have some contact information if anyone wanted to jot that down. These are our 3 agents that you guys will be dealing with: Dan, Chris, and then Neil, who again, I said is to my right over here. And then we also have some good news. It's finally your turn. Opportunity to buy shares starts in approximately 10 days, which is great. And then we have some pictures showcasing some of our other joint ventures and the distributions that they have been receiving recently. So we got a few more checks to showcase. And this is our most recent, which we did the other day with one of our joint ventures, Carnegie. So we're really excited to get that started for you guys shortly. And thank you for your time. We really appreciate having the opportunity to speak.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Thanks so much. So Tim and I, we just redid our home and auto, and our homeowners insurance is pretty good. So we didn't save a ton on that, but because of bundling, we're saving like $4 something a month with cars and everything, the way that's bundled. So yeah,
Awesome.
It's awesome. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks,
have a good
guys.
one.
You too. Are we back in action? Okay, is Rich on? I didn't give him a heads up. I like to do that. I think it's good for him. It's like, and he's so good on the fly, so we'd like to keep it on. Okay. Alrighty. So, did you guys watch our video about RPAC? Who donated when you renewed, or has donated at all? So I'll be honest with you, I've been licensed for a long time, and it's not something that's ever been super strong on my radar, the RPAC. And my goal this year was to be a lot more involved in the board and those kinds of things. So we joined the charity committee and the education committee on Solid Board. Aiden and I did to just try and be more involved in what's going on. They do so much for us. And I'm learning more and more how much that really is that they do for us. So a couple of things I wanted to highlight here. So RPAC is the organization that helps legislate for us, specifically for agents. So some of the things that they've done is they've protected against sales tax on services like us, like agents, right? They've, I have a different pointer. They also preserve the mortgage interest deduction, the $3,000 savings, prevent the requirement of having an attorney at closing, which we're one of the few states that doesn't require that. It's a $5,000 savings, and protects against the transfer tax every time a house is sold, having a transfer tax, and preserves the sell home of capital gains. So if it's new, if you sell it sooner than 2 years. So after 2 years, you don't have to pay capital gains, but if you sell before 2 years, you do pay capital gains. But that's all coming from RPAC. And one of the things that's really important to highlight too is it was the RPAC that helped us stay, our local area helped us stay essential during the shutdown, which is huge, right, for us. So we've got a big goal. Does anybody have anything to add to this?
I do have something to add to it.
Please.
So that litigation in Daybreak some time ago, that was actually filed without the permission of the homeowners. They just went for the small group of members, volunteer members on the board, and said, you'll get sued if you don't file this lawsuit. So RPAC hired an attorney to go downtown and get a law passed where, are you ready for this? Homeowners have to approve of a lawsuit before it can be filed, at least 50% of the homeowners. So this ambulance chaser company that went out there and created that mess, in effect, they're out of business now, and that's a good thing.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, it does for our local areas too. It's not just for everyone in the whole. Thanks, Jorge. That's awesome. Wow. So if you want, and Amy said that's great information. Thanks for sharing the expertise. So I want to show you a video that we posted about kind of what we're doing to incentivize you. Our goal is to get 100% of our agents donating $15 minimum. And because we just believe so strongly in it, we are going to incentivize you by giving you a prize, enter into a drawing. Stop that. So you guys might not be able to. The benefits to do it. One of them, however, is we want you to do it. Okay, hi, you guys. We are here to talk to you about something really important, our pets and donating. And of course, there's a lot of reasons and benefits to do it. One of them, however, is we want you to do your prize money. So we are doing a big contest. It's our goal to get 100% of our agents to donate to our pets this year. $15 is our goal we're striving for. And so to kind of give some awareness and some boost toward it, we are going to enter you into a drawing for a $500 gift card. So if you've already donated or when you donate, you will put your name into a drawing for a $500 gift card. And the way that you do that, there's a couple of ways. So first of all, if you log into your saltlakerealtors.com, go to saltlakerealtors.com, log in, you can make a donation there, or you can call the Salt Lake Board at 801-542-8840, and we'll put this all into the content of the email here. Or on September 23rd, that's the day of donation, they are going, we call answer the phone on the 23rd, you can use your credit card again for that $15 donation for something that's really, really important in our world here in Laredo.
So there's 4 major benefits of donating to RPAC. The first one, well, let's talk about if you're a major investor. Major investor is $1,000. Now, that sounds like a lot of money, but there's some major things that will benefit your business if you do that. First off, you'll be published in the newspaper and in the Realtor magazine, so you can use that in future marketing. The second one is you're eligible for the Distinguished Service Award. Just having that as a resume will hopefully add a few listings. Third one, you'll be part of a powerful Facebook group with other top producers, and they do give additional prizes away. And finally, of that $1,000, we're going to give you $300 of that in a gift card.
Okay, so let's talk about what is RPAC. RPAC is the Real Estate Political Action Committee, and the purpose of it is one of the benefits of being a member of the Salt Lake Board of Realtors. And if you're not aware, Salt Lake Board of Realtors is one of the oldest and largest trade associations in the state of Utah. So the Real Estate Political Action Committee goes to the legislature and lobbies to protect personal property rights. So here's some of the things that they've accomplished this past year. The first thing they've accomplished is when the pandemic hit, they helped to educate legislators that realtors need to be an essential service so that we can continue to do our job without breaking the law. They had to act swiftly. Your RPAC money is going to help when that kind of thing comes up, which is completely unexpected. Something that they've fought against every single year at the legislature is to keep the capital gains tax to be only on investment property, so that you're still protecting your personal equity when you sell your home. You don't have to pay a tax on that gain if it's your personal property. The other thing that they've done, and this is huge because I think Utah is only one of 2 states in the entire nation that does not have a transfer tax. So when you sell another state, one, oftentimes you have to use an attorney, which can cost $5,000. The other thing is you have to pay the government transfer tax based on the sales price of the house. We've been able to keep that away to make selling real estate more beneficial to the homeowner, especially on personal property. And then one of the other benefits is, and this has been hotly, I don't know the right word, not debated, but argued, and they've been working hard to protect us from a sales tax on our real estate commission. So if $15 is worth it to you, to protect you on thousands of dollars worth of savings that you can make, we are professionals. Let's invest in it and continue to have great action happening for our business.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions about that? You're going to do it, right? We'll make sure you have credit if you've already donated. But let's just do that. Just keep going. Okay. So next week, on the 27th, I have, her name is Chris, this amazing woman. She is over the development out the new Mountain View Village. You guys know where that is, what I'm talking about? So they just started, if you've been out there within the last few weeks, they just started the second phase. It's gonna be amazing. You've been up to Farmington Station, yeah? So it's the same developer who did Farmington Station. Up there, it's 3,000 acres. Here, it's 5,000 acres. So Chris, who's over all of the commercial, all of the residential, selling all of the land, getting all the agreements, is coming to team meeting next week. And she's going to give us the update of what's going on, the timing, the stores that are coming in. I don't have those listed on there yet. She's also going to talk a lot about the housing, the different types of housing, what builders they've solidified so far. There's still some, if you know builders, there's still some spots they're looking for. It'll be awesome. Let me show you a quick clip about this village.
They appear and disappear, gently shaping who we become. Our choices shape our future, our definition of happiness and success. They create a center of gravity in our lives. For some, that means the balancing of work, fitness, and family life. For others, choices are the rituals that define how we interact with the world. Choosing how we work, how we live, and how we grow. Choosing the clothes we wear and the food we eat. With every new choice, we design our future. The dreams that we chase, the victories we celebrate, the community we love, and the people we share. We design Mountain View Village with the future in mind.
Have you guys seen that video? It's pretty cool, right? Don't you think that'd be an awesome thing to send your clients about what's, this is what's coming up. So she's coming next week, and we're gonna, because we're upgrading all of our equipment this weekend, we're gonna be able to Zoom and hold live meetings. But the more people that we have who are coming, we're gonna open that up and space it out, but we strongly encourage masks, especially if we have more people coming in. So we'll have them, bring them, and we'll make sure we're spacing out and wearing masks and have the wall open. But then also, if you would rather watch a Zoom, we'll be able to Zoom and do live from here on out. Okay, we'll make sure you know about that. Okay, it's gonna be cool though, right? Are you excited? It's totally gonna change that area. It's awesome. Okay, let's jump in. We have some really cool numbers. If they continue to just, you guys are amazing. Continue to display it. So we want to congratulate Tracy, Christian, and Tom for their first listings with us. Yay. Mary and Jordan have their first closings. I feel like I'm, like when I put my hand up, like it's very, you guys clap for me. There we go. Is that not sure?
Wait.
Did I have a joke? Oh my gosh, I forgot to watch your video.
I'm going to watch it.
Oh,
But I hear a short joke.
yes.
Like this kid.
Ah!
Okay.
Okay, so we've got a lot of agents who had a listing, a closing, and wrote a contract in the same month. Andrew, I'm just going to go through the names quick and then clap at the end, yeah? Okay. Andrew, Annie, Brian, Cameron, Carmen, Christopher, Chris, Clint, Corey, Danielle, David, Deanna, John, Dwayne, Eden, Emily, Heather, Jared, Jen, Joe, Josh, Justin, Karen, Kevin, Lacey, Lisa, Myra, Nick, Patria, Rolando, Ryan, Scott, Sean, Stephanie, Steven, Steve, Terry, Tiffany, Tom, Tiffany, Tom, Tori, Tracy, Tyler, woo! Okay. That is a lot of business on us. Okay, our cappers for the month, we had Kenya, Annie, Tracy, Lori, Candace, Steven, Chris, Danielle, Cameron, and Bobby. Good job. So we have prizes for you. Come and pick a prize upstairs, okay? So come visit us at the office and get a prize for that. Great job. And then talking about our top listing agents right now for the individual, Scott Hardy listed 5 houses at 2.3 million, Annie Cannon 3 at 1.8, Jared Hampton 3 at 1.3, John Rushing 3 at 664. Good job, everybody. And then team member Dwayne was at 4 units at 1.8, Jill Sadler 3 units at 4.6, Tiffany Fletcher 3 units at 2.5, Andrew Kent 3 at 1.5, Tracy Crockett 3 at 1.4. And then our top selling agents, this is everybody who did 3 or more. So I'm going to run down the list again. It's a big one. So we got Jared 15, 5.8. Justin Hurd 6.5, Annie 6, Tyler DeMar 6, Scott Hardy 6, Amy Gibbons 5.75, Tammy Rocher 5 units, Rebecca Turpin 5, David Earnhardt 5, Scott Hurd 5, Patria 4, Lowry 4, Jen Bain 4, Steve Judkins 4, Chase Watts 4, Carmen 3.5, Tracy 3, Eric Cocker 3, Corey Kerner 3, Ryan Poole 3, Tom Vogel 3, Emily Hayes 3, Danielle Peterson 3, Clint Allred 3. Good job. Go ahead. That is crazy. And then for the team members, Dwayne 12.3, Andrew 10, Ryan Hurd 8.95, which is tricky math. Ryan Pettit 6.6, Johnny Rain 6.55, also tricky. David Weiser 6.2, Tracy Crockett 5.8, Chris Jones 5.6, Heather Rockford 5.25, Kevin Moss 5.15, Joe Sadler 4.75, Cameron Urey 4.7, Lisa Stevens 4.5, and Lowry 4, Troy Tavern 3.5, Cody Rock 3.5, Josh Jorgensen 3.4, Stephen Hodges 3.15. Woo! Good job. That is so busy. Okay, then our top closing individuals, Jared at 7 units, Tyler at 6, Justin Hurd at 5.5, Annie Cannon at 5, Scott Hardy at 5, Jason Judd at 5, Scott Hurd at 5, David Earnhardt at 5, Andrew Kent at 5, Patria at 4, Rebecca at 4, Jill at 3.75, Ryan at 3, Jen Bain at 3, Chase at 3, Jeff at 3, Danielle at 3. Great job, individual. Okay. For team member, Dwayne 11.3, Brian 6.65, Johnny 5.25, Tori 5.25, David Weiser 5.2, Lacey 5. Am I looking on the right line? Yeah. Cameron 4.7, Ryan 4.6, Kevin 4.5, Cody 4.25, Chris Jones 2.6, Heather 3.4. Good job. Let's cheer for that. All right, so Crimson Club, individual, Jared Hampton. How many months in a row is he number 1 now? Since March? I think March. Yeah. Who's going to be from Jared?
Interesting. So I wanted.
That person is going to be from Jared. Okay, so 26 units. So this is listing taken, contract closed, contract 6. 26. He has a TC, by the way. Okay. So 26 units, and he right now in the region, he is number 1 in units, individual in the whole region out of 2,300 agents. He's number 1 for units. Pretty sweet. Scott Hardy in second place at 16 units, not bad. Also just has an admin and at 7.8 million, and then Annie Cannon has a TC2 at 14 units. That is crazy busy, right? Yesterday we were meeting with her. We have something close to tell you about too. We were meeting with her, and she was like, "Yeah, it's been busy." Like, so calmly. It's awesome. Good job, everybody. Let's give them a round. And then we've got the team first place, D2D at 27 units, also amazing 3.5. And the Sadler group at 14 units, which is awesome. Good job. And then Lacey at third place at 12 units. Nice work, everybody. And then group, we've got South Valley Copper at 34 section units, 17.7 million. Dr. B. Hurd at 28 units, 11.5. And then Rain, you guys. And third place, I know you've been working really hard at that, so congrats. And then we've got, and then welcome Mariah, Taylor, Ryan, Nicole, Braxton, Becky, David, and Ashley. We've got some awesome people that we added to our company. Welcome. Okay, and this one, I cannot even believe it. This is the highest, so in August, we hit the highest week profit shared ever in the history of the company for an entire year. We hit it by August, so 107. But the highest we've ever been is like 89,000. We've never hit 100,000 in sharing profit. It is amazing, and we're looking at another really profitable month, which we share. The more profitable we are, the more money we share. So it's less net profit to us, but more profit to you, which is awesome, right? And so we are going to do, in October, we're going to do kind of a celebratory thing with all these awesome numbers and things that we have going on. Are you monitoring the chat?
If I do the
Will you monitor the chat?
I don't think you should.
Or you're not? Okay.
I can try to do it.
Okay, can somebody, either Eden or Amy, can you get into business to come monitor the chat? Sure. That's so exciting. That's actual cash money that goes to you guys. So excited about that. And here's some other just amazing numbers from August that our office is up 24% from last year on closed units. The MLS is only up 7, so we're outpacing the market 17%. The MLS, our local MLS, our office is 17% higher than our local MLS. So this is something important for you to share. Use these numbers like they're yours, right? They are. You're a part of it. Closed sales volume, we're up 43% over last year. The MLS is only up 18%. So we're outpacing the market by 25%. Listings taken volume, we're up 20%. The MLS is only up 18%, and so we are 2% above the MLS. And then listings taken units, we're down, Daddy. Daddy, we're down. Have you guys seen Just Friends? Very quotable movie. Daddy, we're down. We're down on our listings, and I know it's been really hard to get them right now. So that's one of the things we're going to talk about today is just really how we just got to we got to get it done this week, okay? And really, really focusing on listings. The MLS is actually up, so we're down 14% of where we are. So definitely a focus for our office is listings. We got to get those up. Overall, really awesome, yeah? Okay, so I was talking to an agent. This was kind of funny because I didn't know Jason had this, that he does 100 ways to get a deal, right? And I was talking to somebody, and he said, I just need to figure out how to get a deal this week. And it kind of struck me hard that I think it's so easy to get complacent, right, in just our daily activities. And it made me think, what if something was happening, like my son or my daughter, they needed a surgery or something, and I knew I was going to pay for it. I didn't have any supposed to say something dramatic. I needed to pay for a surgery for them or something, and I had to get a deal this week. How am I going to get a deal this week to pay for that? Like how when we can make amazing things happen when we feel like we're in an urgent situation, right, for somebody else. How easy is it to do something for somebody else? And then how easy is it for us to not think about ourselves and put ourselves very last and then just take care of our others first, right? And so you had to get a deal this week. What are you going to do? And we have some really good ideas, but also want us to be open and sharing. So when I was talking about this, it was how I wanted to put it on the calendar in our calendar meeting, and they said, oh, like Jason could, which I didn't know that he even had this list. So we collaborated. He sent me his list, and we just wanted to kind of go through and talk about this together of things that have worked. And these are ideas. I broke them into different categories, and we'll send these slides out to you so you have them. But I want to hear like things that have happened in a way with these ideas, how we can convert them this week. What's the step that we can take as we're going through to get some stuff going? So come in.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thanks, Emily.
He's also giving someone the Traeger, so be really nice.
Let's talk about that first. Is that all right? Is that all right? Like, that's why we're here. So this number up here on the board, and I believe Kimber put it in the chat.
If whoever's monitoring can put it in.
385-276-4466. You want your name entered into the raffle for this Traeger, and it's sitting over here, the Scout. Put your name and text your name to that phone number, and then at 11:50 today, so what, in 10 or 15 minutes, I'm gonna get a text, and my office is gonna say, this is who won.
So that's how, someone's gonna take that away. Sound good?
Or come back and get it if you're at home.
Yeah, if you're at home, if you're on Zoom, it's gonna be in the office. It may have already been used, so we can't control that. I don't know if anybody got my joke, smoking the meat. Has anyone seen Mark Zuckerberg, his like awkward video about his hobby, how he's trying to like be personal, like this billionaire. Yeah, it's really funny. They kind of zombified it.
Smoking these meats.
That's funny.
So, do you have another
Yes,
slide, or do you want me to?
Yeah, so that's kind of broken down into med, tab, med, just a few different categories, and so this kind of goes through that way, but there are 100. I triple counted. Oh, I didn't take the 87 off. That's where I kept going back to. I was at 87 at 5 counting, sure, but yeah, so let's go through.
There's really so many ways to generate business in real estate, and often you get so focused, so laser focused on just like one or two that have worked. And I believe you really should focus on those, because if they've worked, that's what you should continue to do. But there's so many more. And what if you spent just like an hour a week trying something new? You would have so many new ways of generating business. Can I start by telling a little story? It's 2 minutes, it's a 2-minute story, but I promise like this will be relevant to how you think about your business and how you, it's the visuals. And it's a parable even, right? I mean, if I tell you about chickens, at the end of me telling you about chickens, you're going to know more about real estate than you probably knew before. And so here's what happened. So we have chickens. We had 12 chickens, and we have a coop that the chickens are in. And I've noticed as I paid attention to these chickens the last 10 years, when they feel comfortable, when they feel safe, when there's straw in there and there's food and water available right there, they feel safe to lay their eggs in the chicken coop. When my kids, I'll blame it on them. When my kids don't put straw and they neglect them, and the chicken coop gets kind of messy and doesn't feel like a good environment, chickens actually will lay their eggs like somewhere else in the yard. They'll kind of go and hide them, and then so my kids have to go on the hunt to go find them. Sometimes they're spoiled. Sometimes a crow, like no joke, I've seen 20 times a crow fly out of my yard with its egg in its mouth, and I see it fly like 100 yards away, and it drops it from the air, and then it goes down and eats it. Yesterday, we had this dog come in our yard and kill a couple chickens. This morning, it was like 6 in the morning. I come running up to on my driveway, and it's like dark, and this dog like scared me to death because it's 150 pounds. It's like dark, and it has long hair, and it looks like a bear. And it like made me jump back, but it's like super nice to people, but it killed another 2 chickens this morning. And so when I think about chickens and how they behave and the environment that I create for them to want to lay eggs in that coop, and then how we protect our space, I hope you can see some of the relevance in real estate, right? If you have, and imagine this, what if you had someone show up maybe once a month and give you a new chicken, and they put it in your coop, and now all of a sudden that chicken is laying, an egg a day or an egg every few days. Like, I hope you can see just how this is relevant to your business. You have a business, and the more you see it that way, that there's processes, there's environments, there's way that you can handle and communicate and take care of those that are in your flock, right? The more you can create that environment and that interaction where it's symbiotic, the more those eggs are laid. And it's easier to find them. When you neglect it, then maybe, some of the things happen and they go lay eggs somewhere else, right? Maybe someone else picks up on them. Maybe another agent or dog comes in and kills them or, takes the bounty. And so there's a really, what's crazy, I don't even understand how this works in reality, but like I told you about chickens, and hopefully you know a little bit more about your own business in real estate. But there really is, I don't know, some truths that work that way. I won't break that all down, but I want you to think of it that way, right? Like, what is the environment with people in your database that they're going to feel comfortable, that they're going to want to lay the egg, right? And that's for you. Like, the transaction is the egg. And the people in your database are those chickens. And so how can you, in a not self-serving way, and I think that's what I'm going to invite a lot of you to do, is maybe get outside of your comfort zone a little bit. And how can you communicate with people in a way that's going to be beneficial to them? And that's really all you focus on, and not just care about, well, you didn't give me the egg, or you can't be in here because you didn't give me the egg last month or last year. Or, you know what, last month you gave that egg to that person, so you were out. And so it's easy to be short-term minded in your thinking about how you interact with people and that relationship. But if you can do it in a more selfless way, guess what? Like, I think you'll have more people come in, they'll feel more safe, they'll feel more secure. But let's talk about repeat clients. So I want to hear an example of how did you get a repeat client that was maybe out of the ordinary as far as the interaction, or maybe a repeat client that used you, then they used someone else, and then maybe why did they come back to you? And any examples, like either on Zoom or here in person? Can I hear an example of a repeat client that came back and why?
And kind of an interesting one while you're thinking of, I mean, I think it's interesting.
Yeah.
You know. So I had somebody call me once and say, hey, your neighbor referred me to you. Honestly, I was sitting in the tub on a Saturday, okay? Like, I was doing no real estate at all. And she said, I just went through an open house behind you, a house behind you where you live now, and we want to buy it. Can you be our agent? So I was annoyed that that guy didn't have us list his house. And then another neighbor referred her to me, and so she bought the house. It was like $650 or $700 or something. And then the process, if there were some things that were kind of an issue, and it was a little tricky because they're our neighbor, but I'm not representing them, and I'm representing my client, so it was a little tricky, but we got it all done and everything like that. And then a couple months later, we got a call from somebody that said, hey, I was referred to you by Aaron, I think his name is, Tim wants to chime in, got a call from the seller who didn't use me, referred us to his friend because he said, she's a bulldog, she'll take care of you. So I felt like the transaction was a little bit tricky and it was hard because he was our neighbor and our friend, but I wasn't representing him. And he didn't refer the agent that represented him, he referred us. So we ended up selling and helping on 2 transactions with that. And then the lady, the person they had referred, then the people that I represented who bought that house, sold that house this year and bought a different house this year. So from being a good agent, getting and just knowing my neighbors, we got the buy, the sell, the new house, 2 referrals. We got 5 off of that. So it was a repeat, but not in a way that how they are connected to the same one person, right?
Yeah, there really is value in giving more, right? And not feeling bad if they use someone else, right?
Yeah, so being nice even though you're annoying.
Yeah.
How annoying is it that your next door neighbor throws up a sign? It's so worse.
This morning, true story.
Oh my God.
Waiting for work, next door neighbor.
No, it hurts. It hurts so bad. Or like your sister, or yeah.
That happened like 6 months ago. But a neighbor around the corner from me, they had their house listed, and I was like, what's that? Like, I knew that.
Yeah.
And they ended up selling it. And then 3 months after that, they referred me to the son when I sold them the house. Did you ever ask them why they didn't use you? I didn't. Yeah. I'm guessing that agent probably sold them their house like forever ago when they bought it, and there was probably some type of loyalty there where they didn't want to like.
Which we can appreciate.
Yeah, that happened twice. The same thing happened. Another person bought a house with somebody else and referred me to their brother. Wow.
I think the point of that is
Everyone that's hearing on Zoom, like in the conversation.
Yeah, I haven't heard
Okay. Maybe, let's just talk louder, make sure everyone on Zoom can hear, but thanks, Scott.
I think it's important to be referable. Because you don't know necessarily who that is going to be that's going to refer. And all you can control is making sure that you are somebody that people want to refer, and then that's how you get those repeats. Right?
Yeah. One example of this, he has a full-time job. He had a full-time job for a lot of years. And then a year and a half ago, he got his license, and he's like, you know what? Like, I really am excited about like investment property. He didn't have any money to be able to buy them himself. And so if you think like, oh, move to the agent, like, how could I get into the investment space? Well, I probably have to have a lot myself. But you don't. What he did was he attended an economic development meeting for one city every month for like 3 or 4 months. And then he's like, oh, maybe I should go to this one too. And he added 2 cities that he just went to every single month. and then he got up to 3. And that's all he did. He only goes to 3 economic meetings every single month in these 3 cities. And who comes to those meetings? Investors.
Yeah,
What do-
economic
Yeah,
meeting.
investors. What are investors? Why are they going to that meeting? They're looking for deals. They have money, right? Do they always have like the best knowledge or the best information, or do they have an awesome relationship with a realtor? Not always. But there's going to be some people that already have those tight relationships, and it's unlikely maybe you can get in and break those. Maybe you can. But just going to and being in a place where, you know what, these opportunities are going to present themselves. If you just go show up and, you know, you meet people and talk to them, and they're like, why are you here? Oh, I'm a real estate agent. Like, I'm in this space. I know this and this and this. Or you can even, I want to know more about this, you know. It's all about relationships and then opportunities. And in this environment right now, you know, some investors have been a little shy with what's happened with COVID, but I think it's an awesome place to get in. And right now, he's doing 2 deals a month. He quit his job, and he's doing 2 deals a month. So he's been happy. He doesn't do anything else other than just investment stuff.
So what about like reaching out to even people that didn't use you, right? Reaching out to them and saying, hey, how was your experience? I saw you guys just sold your house. We're going to miss you. We're going to miss you. How did everything go for you? I just wanted to check in and make sure you're okay. And that helps keep you top of mind, right? So those people that didn't use you.
I think instinctively they won't want to talk to you because they'll feel awkward, but it's up to us to make it not awkward.
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure, because it really is about, hey, we're going to miss you guys. We wish you best. We wish you well. And that was really hard. We had 2 close friends who didn't use, 2 of Timmy's really close friends who didn't use him, and that hurt his heart. And it took a step.
You can't hear as much as people that are
Back there? Okay, so you have to talk out. We'll
Yeah,
never
yeah.
go.
I can take the phone around.
Oh, yeah, okay. So, that was really sad. And, but you have to swallow your pride. Are you not going to be friends forever over that? No. So,
You got to clear the air.
yeah, you got to clear there.
I know one agent that does this on the listing side, and I know a different one that does this on the buy side. But on the listing side, whether it's their own listing or even if it's in their own neighborhood and they didn't list it, what they do as an agent to have an excuse to go around the neighborhood and say hi to people is, hey, I don't know if you know, but this family's moving out of the neighborhood. We're just going to do a quick, hey, love you, we'll miss you card. You guys want to sign it? And that's it. It has nothing to do with real estate, even if they're not the one that's listing it. It's just, hey, we care. And guess what? When that agent has that filled out and they take it to that person, like, they're going to like that. Like, that's a really positive thing. It might
It's a
take
great
some
idea.
time on your effort. But even on the buy side, how cool would that be if you're helping your buyer, they're moving into this neighborhood, and you go get like 5, 8 signatures from neighbors saying, hey, welcome to the neighborhood, and then you give it to them at closing. It's just a different
I love that.
touch. It's just a different feel.
Like staying in touch with them after they move, I think that's important. Like,
Staying in touch with them after they move. I think that's important. One of my neighbors listed with Homie. And here's the best part. Okay.
Can you just repeat that story real quick? Fine, Kimber. So I had a neighbor that listed with Homie, and he ended up getting 3 offers on the house. And instead of going to his agent, he came to me to help him decipher which offer was going to be in his best interest. And so there's part of me that I'm just like, why the hell are you coming to me? Like, this is weird. And then this other part of me is like, I'm not going to like ruin the relationship with him because maybe I have an opportunity here to show my value to get future business out of him. So I took the high road, kind of went through it with him. And I'm going to keep marketing to him, obviously, because maybe in 4 or 5 years, I don't know, might be an opportunity there.
That's a good mindset.
Oh.
That's a mindset. That's a mindset of an agent that knows that it's a relationship business and it's a long game business. And so I know we're talking about how do you get a deal this week. And yes, we'll have some ideas on how you can do that right now. But a lot of it has to do with it's laying a foundation that you can build on. But guess what? In like a month from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, 2 years from now, if you're doing the right activities on a consistent basis, it's just going to roll in.
So laying that foundation gives you the ability to get a deal this week, right?
Yeah.
You're consistent about that. So let's go through, this is all the MEX. So from the MREA, what does MEX mean? Yes, it's very not complicated. So here are some things that we threw down. So should we just read every other one? I'll do one and you do one?
Sure.
Is that cute? Repeat client.
Referral reward program.
There's
You guys have a lot of stuff to do with this one, as far as rewarding the behavior for referrals, for closed transactions. In the Red Book, it says you should reward them 5 times for a referral. So the more of that, the better. And maybe you can even do it cheaper.
Yep.
Have you heard of vendor season? Has everybody heard of vendor season?
Yeah.
That's a awesome one that you.
Way like uncomplicated. It's just so simple. Banner season was Eden's idea.
Banner season, it's a program where if you have a referral that closes, you can set up, an automated, system that will send your client or the person who referred them branded gifts from you, either every month or every other month. So you can send a branded water bottle that has your information on it, or just brownies, and it's completely automated, so you can just set it up for the whole year.
So part of this side deal thing that I was talking about at the beginning, sorry, even I cut you off. Sorry. There's a lot of rewarding that's going on in that trifecta, right? Between Michelle, Melanie, and I don't think his name's Aaron, but for the purpose of this, in my memory, policy, we're on Aaron. There's gifts going around to all 3 of them. And we give them for a year because of how it's all referred around. We give them 6 gifts over a year. They're all branded. It's awesome. Yeah.
I have one more story real quick before you want. I don't see it on this list. So there's this agent that I know. He lives in Draper. He's been in real estate for 7 years. And like 85% of all his business that he does, he closes in like Ogden area. I don't know if agents, oh, is it over here? Oh, I don't want to get through all this. So let me finish the story. So how did he get that, and why is he doing that? He's willing to travel that far. That's just his own personal feeling. Like, if he's going to go do, some listings, I looked him up just the other day. He has 3 active listings up that way. He lives in Draper. And the way that he did it was he attended KW Salt Lake, he attended KW Midvale, and Westfield on a regular basis. And so guess what he did? He just got to know some of the agents there that are doing a lot of business and said, hey, if you have anybody up in that area, refer them to me. I'll take care of them. And guess what? Like, because he reached out to them enough, they got into his phone and their phone. And so whenever they got a transaction or referral up that way, send it to him. And so it would be so easy. Like, would other team leaders in those offices want agents from here attending their team meetings to get to know agents?
Sure.
I think they would. Can you imagine, what if you had 10 agents that were referring you 1 transaction a year? That'd be nice, wouldn't it? They're bringing you a chicken.
Yeah.
Every year.
Yep, so we got clothes on there. Sphere of influence, which is general, right?
Client event.
And then on the client event, something I want to tell you, we're going to do an event for the fall. We haven't done any client appreciation events this year. So we're going to do, we've been thinking a lot about how to safely do this, where people can go and there's no liability with us. People who are comfortable to go are in a safe environment that's regularly checked by the health department. It's kind of a sticky thing. So we're going to rent Corn Belly. And so people are already going to Corn Belly, so it's going to make it less than about $5 per person that you invite. So we're getting the details and information. What's your thing? Oh, what day is yours? When is yours? When is yours, you know? Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll give you more information on it. Yeah.
When we do the Conference Street, is that going to be a client event as well?
We're not going to do that instead. We're going to do Corn Bellies instead.
Mm-hmm.
We just decided it'll be hard for us to be the regulators here and keeping people spaced out. And have a whole group of people there. And okay, so we'll give you more information about that. Okay, what are the anniversary calls?
For their anniversary, right?
Yes.
Of the house.
Yep, and whether you sold in that house or not, it doesn't matter. So calling them, hey, you've been in your house for 5 years, congrats. It doesn't matter if it doesn't matter. Right?
One thing that we love partnering with agents as far as the home warranty as well, we want them to renew, and that is our goal. Like in that 10th and 11th month, we remind them. We do a couple of phone calls, we do a couple of emails. That's all I care about, really. Like, I love new business. I really care about renewals. So if you want to partner on that side of things, I think it makes sense. One thing that I know an agent does, she's been in the business like 40 years, a long, long, long time. And she shared this with me, and I said, can I share that idea? She's like, yeah, I'm getting out of the business soon enough, so I don't care. But she's like, most agents won't do it. But she said on every single one where of her buyers, where she didn't represent the seller, maybe you've heard of it, she goes and she introduces herself to the seller. Wait, to the buyer. When she was the listing agent, sorry, let me back that up. When she was the listing agent and the buyers came and bought that house, a couple weeks after closing, she would go knock on the door and introduce herself. Hey, I was a listing agent. You probably don't know me. I just want to stop by and introduce myself. I probably know more about this house than anybody. So if you have questions or whatever, I would be happy to like answer those. And so she just introduced herself really softly, and then she would try to stop by one of the time. But she said in her career, she doesn't exaggerate. She said she closed about 200 transactions because of that one activity.
That's awesome. So that's a group of people you can go to now, right? You can go back to people that have closed this year even. Want to introduce myself to see if everything's okay.
Birthday calls,
Popeyes.
lunches. This one, you could do that with so many people. And I don't know how much time we have left, but let me kind of condense.
7 minutes.
We got 5 minutes?
7 minutes.
7 minutes, okay. Let me combine this one group. So divorce attorneys, how many
That's
divorce
all I hear.
attorneys do you think there are on the Wasatch Front? Like 200 million? Like there's a couple. What if you were to take them to lunch and get to know them, and you had 5 to 10?
Let's talk about, we got a whole, I love that idea
Yeah.
too. So in here, these are just additional CMAs. Let's get to the other stuff too.
Yeah.
So the CMA, so you can do, this is all for your Met, people that you know. You can do CMAs for them. You can do HOA updates. Call them, hey, did you guys know this is a change in your, what's going on? You're supposed to work with the title company with that. Tax data info, seminars, Facebook ads to promote their business. So the people that you know, you can highlight and say, hey, I want to run an ad to promote your hair salon or whatever it is that they're doing. You can offer to do something like that.
Do a 20-second video with the owner.
With the owner, promote that for your people that you know. Call and find referrals for your SOI. So somebody is, you can do calls for that. Like, hey, I have a friend who owns this who's looking for this. Do you know anyone? Kind of thing. Neighborhood nurturers is awesome. The KW app, sharing the app. So these right here are a lot of ideas for the people that you haven't met. So, and I don't know, we won't go through all of this. We'll send you the list.
I know,
What's a
too
couple
many.
you want to point out?
There was one that was, let me ask, does everybody know, do you know how to get the contact info of real estate agents in another state? Or know the production of a real estate agent in the LA area or Houston area? You know how to do that on my KW? You can go in and see that and get that contact info.
So on your Kelly, you could just ask Kelly.
Yeah. What if you got to know some agents that were in those areas? Why would I say LA or Houston? Any guesses?
In here.
Yeah. There's a few agents there, and there's a few people that are moving from those cities. So one thing that surprised me when I did lead generation for the Red Sign team, when I looked at where is the traffic, this was 2.5 years ago. I'm sure it's even just amplified since then. Where's the most traffic coming from? The number one city of traffic coming to our website at that time was LA. Number 2 was Salt Lake. Number 3 was Provo. Number 4 was Houston. And I'm sure like Seattle's been added to that list. Portland's been added to that list. So there's a lot of things we could talk about that as far as social media, but introducing yourself to agents and just making those connections and make them real. Maybe even send them that agent a gift card. And guess what? What if you don't have to go find an agent that's just doing 5 to 10 transactions? Go find like the number 1 or number 2. Ask them. You had someone that you're referring to in the Utah area.
So that they don't have to go search it out.
Yeah.
Right? That's awesome. So that's all in here. So the custom builders, model homes, like we'll give you this list of all of these things. A lot of it you've probably already thought of. Some of them may be new ideas for you. I wanted to touch on a little bit too with the allied resources of what he was saying. So I put it its own category. I have a friend, Emily Hayes, who when she started real estate, didn't have a big SOI or anything like that. And I was so impressed with how she did it. She just aligned herself big time and created this amazing SOI by just connecting with people who had other businesses and those kinds of things and helped brought them into her sphere, had them be added to one of her allied resources to be the ultimate connector for her people. And you've done so good at that. Now you have this boom in business. She's taught as like one of our top agents doing all that. So we've got them on here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So there are over 1,600 companies in Utah that are active, that have the name architect. So some of those could be like solution related or, software related, but there's hundreds of actual physical home architect companies. And when you think about, from step 1 to step 10, someone buying a house or building a house, when do they involve a realtor? It's new construction, maybe not, right? But getting to know these people, where it's not just a phone call, they're probably going to stop by their office a few times, maybe taking lunch, but form a relationship with these people and help it make sense for them, like why they should involve you.
And I have a script for you. Do you guys want a script? Hey, Jeff. I'm talking to you on the phone. Okay. Jeff, it's Emily. How are you?
Good, how you doing?
Good. How's everything been going for your business?
Excellent.
Good. It's been so crazy, huh? It's been crazy. Well, I know you're at work, and I don't want to take a ton of your time, but I constantly get people asking me for referrals about certain things. Who do I know that this, blah, blah, blah. So it's really important to me that I'm giving them people that I know will take really good care of them. And architecture is such a big thing right now where people are buying land, and it's easier to get loans for doing, from the ground up construction on their own, like there used to not be, so there's a lot of people who are doing that. And I'm interviewing a couple of architects to have them be one of my allied resources to refer business to. I was wondering if I could send you lunch and we could do Zoom, or we can meet at a restaurant or something to see if I'd be a good fit for you and vice versa. Okay. Easy, right? Who's going to be like, no, I don't want any of this?
So easy.
So easy. Okay. So we got a whole list of people there that may have somebody right now at this moment.
Yeah. There's so many things you could be doing. I think I don't want you to get lost in the, there's so many things I should be doing. Honestly, I would look at the list and say, this month I'm going to do these 2 things, and I'm going to do them 2 or 3 times in a row and see how it goes.
Maybe this one thing's not working for me, or I'm not getting something fast enough. I'm just going to grab onto the list, what pops out, and maybe just reading through this list will help spark somebody. Oh, you know what? I should have talked to them.
Yeah.
I was supposed to talk to that person for something you were supposed to do.
And if I were you, I would actually block it out on my calendar. Wednesday from 10 to 11 or 11 to 12 as part of your lead generation, I'm going to do a new activity during that hour every single week. That way, it's not, it's not up for negotiation. It becomes part of your habit, because when you have a habit, that's just what I do. And who knows? Guess what? If you try 5 new things in the coming month, guess what? Maybe 2 of them are going to work. Maybe 2 of them are actually going to generate new business. So
maybe you're going to go out more deals. That'd be good, right? So here's some miscellaneous stuff. So kind of what Jason was saying, former or retired agents, broker-generated leads. So we do have some Facebook leads where I was testing that out. So getting with that, going to agents and getting their list of leads that they don't work. They're dot signal leads. They don't do anything. There's the agent that's just not doing anything with that. Ask them if that's something that you can work on. Charities, nonprofits, what are some other things you want to point out on here?
Schools are a big one. When you think about the face of a principal, there's a lot of parents that know the face of that principal where their kids go. And if you were to do a video where their face is in your video, do you think people are going to watch that video? You'll have hundreds and hundreds
I
of
used to
people.
go to the school closest to my neighborhood and once a month stock their fridge with sodas, and every soda had my business card on the sticker.
I love that idea.
They love that.
Yeah, you could sponsor a sporting event. You know how easy it is to sponsor a school sporting event? So easy. Just getting your name out there, getting your face out there, creating new conversations so people see you on a regular basis. And I'd say real in a niche way. We're kind of out of time.
Yeah.
Did you want to
One more
add
thing
last
really
thing?
quick. Yep.
Yep.
So the last thing I wanted to add here, which to me is the most important, I could be wrong, okay, is to mind your business. We don't spend enough time following up, following through, like spending dedicated an hour. If you dedicate 1 hour a day, 5 hours a week of going through, write it out. Anybody that's ever coached with me, I ask you, what do I ask? Scott and Clint, what do I ask? What am I asking you when we're writing it down? The name? Where did, like, let's buy or sell. Where did they come from? What's the price? The time frame and the commission amount. And you're writing it all down for any potential lead. Because there's an act, I remember one time, I'm just totally put you on the spot, babe. One time Scott came in and he was kind of discouraged and he said that his business was kind of down and he'd been so busy and then he felt like he needed to gear it up and he was kind of sad. This was more than a year ago. And so I said, okay, well, tell me about that. And as we were writing down his potential leads, he remembered, oh, I forgot about that one. Oh, what about this one? Oh, what about this one? And as we added up the potential commission, it just was like a light just kind of went. There's something about the action of writing that down and diving deep into your potential business that you're neglecting right now. There's this quote right here that says, not following up with your prospect is the same as filling up your bathtub first without doing the proper entry. It's so true. So you've got to I encourage you, yes, let's look through lists. Think about use this list as a way to remind yourself who you need to talk to and to generate some more business this week. But I promise you, if you, using all these ideas and things like that, if you dive deep into who you already have, do you talk to your database? Do you look at your database? Who is out there? Even just like a shred of a potential of a lead. Write it out. Think about the potential, the income that could be with that, and mind your business. It'll make a difference for sure.
Thanks so much for having us today. I talked with Nick about teaching a couple of CE classes, and so we'll try to get some of those on the schedule. One of them is like video related, one of them is social media related, one of them is about mining your database like Emily's talking about. If anyone wants to do like a social media, like in person with me, if you have 2 or 3 agents that you can group together, and we can do it either in here or upstairs, with good social distancing, I'd love to do that. So just text me and we'll find a time to do that. So the winner of the Traeger is Stephanie Farwell.
You almost won.
I know.
You almost got it. So this is yours, Stephanie.
Yay!
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Woo! Good job.
Hey, now, you gotta make lunch for the.
Yeah. Hey, you guys, let's give a big round to Jason. Was this helpful? Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
I'll send this out to you guys. And then remember, next week is going to be an awesome meeting. So hope you can make it.